Okay, here we go. Question for you. Are you happy? I mean it. Are you happy or are you unhappy? Sometimes people might say, well, it kind of depends on the day. It might depend on who I'm with. It might depend on what I'm doing. It might depend on the weather. It depends on a lot of things if I'm happy or not, if I'm really truthful about it. Well, our theme this month is happiness is the way, and that's the book written by Wayne Dyer. And the topic this morning is the mission of your life. And so when I ask you if you were happy or not, I'm hoping that most of you did say, yes, I'm happy, right? I think we're all happy just to be here where we are at this moment in time, feeling this nice breeze and being able to congregate appropriately, with all the things going on today. But so many times, though, we do just normally and typically, and a knee-jerk reaction response is, well, I'm happy if, or I'm happy when, that outside influences are the things that bring us our happiness. And I think it was attributed to Abraham Lincoln, who was quoted as saying, folks are just about as happy as they make up their mind to be. And so there are situations in our lives where things happen that we would prefer not to have them be that way, would prefer perhaps the weather to be a little cooler, but the weather's going to do what it's going to do. That is not in our control. There are a lot of things going on in life right now, as we all know, that are not in our control. And so I think that it behooves us to look at Lincoln's quote again and recognize that people are just as happy as they make up their minds to be. So what that is saying to me is that it's all within us, that it's our choice, our decision, how happy we're going to be, based on what's within us, not necessarily what is going out and around us. We don't have to live in that nuance or that theme that, well, I'll be happy when, or I'll be happy if. I think a lot of us here, sitting here now, recognize that that's not the way life works. Because even when you get those things that you, quote, wanted or think you wanted or it was going to make you happy, what happens? You want more. That doesn't quite do it. It's not an end with all. You're not finished. It's not, okay, I crossed the finish line and that's it. Why? Because life is evolving, changing, growing, revealing more of itself all the time. And so we, as these spiritual beings who are infinite in our nature, are always going to want to grasp for the brass ring as it comes around again one more time. I was thinking about, again, because I'm babysitting my 2-year-old granddaughter Monday through Friday. And again, this week she's teaching me all these lessons. It's amazing, what I glean from being with her. So this last week, see, the thing of it is, they have, my son and daughter-in-law both work out of the house. And they're back in the office, and I have her in the living room and, throughout the house. And they have a dog named Bailey. Well, ever since Bailey has been little, and she's been little, well, Bailey's grown. No, ever since she's been little, she's loved Bailey and wants to hug Bailey, and they taught her, be gentle and all this business. But now recently she just has this major thing about she wants to be with Bailey all the time. Where's Bailey? Where's Bailey? And of course, poor Bailey, she's like, oh my God, get away from me, kid. And so she goes hiding in the office with the parents and so forth. And so this week, one day, Adeline goes, where's Bailey? Where's Bailey? And I said, I don't know. And so they bought her binoculars, like they're little binoculars for a little kid. And she puts the binoculars up to her face, looking for Bailey. I'm going to find Bailey. The only thing is, she puts them on backwards. And it's hysterical. Because she looks around, and I took pictures. If you want to see the pictures after, I'll show you, because she's looking, And the little end is outside, and the big is looking all around for Bailey. And you know, she doesn't see her, obviously. And so being, you know, the what do I want to say, the qualified and well, you know, great grandma that I am, I'll just put it that way, I of course was able to distract her attention onto something else, you know, to say, oh, let's do this, you know, and then off we were, and she kind of forgot all about, you know, wanting to find Bailey. But what do we, I thought that was an interesting observation that she gave me, because how many times do we in life look outside ourselves for something that we want, and we hold the binoculars backward. We are looking out on the wrong end. If we really want to find something that's going to make us happy, we need to look within ourselves, not with what's going on the outside. Our vision, quote unquote, is backwards if we're looking to the exterior for the happiness. I wanted to remind you what I wrote in the thought for the week. When we are chasing something outside our own personal self, or doing what we're supposed to do by society's measure, we only create internal anxiety. Inner peace and purpose can only be found by following our own internal guidance. And then I quoted Thoreau. If one advances confidently in the direction of their dream and endeavors to live the life they are imagining, one passes an invisible boundary. All sorts of things begin to occur that never otherwise would have occurred. One meets with a success unexpected in common hours. Each of us has our own individual personal dreams, personal goals, things that we imagine, that we come from within us, not from without us. And so when we recognize, we first of all need to dream, we need to imagine, we need to take the time, like this morning, you know, every morning when we do our little prayer that we do in here in our service, I give us that short time of silence to go within. You know, I suggest that you get prepared for what the message will be that you will hear. But boy, if we would only every day take the time to just go within and check in. And I'm excited. We're going to be starting our book study on Joel Goldsmith, and Practicing the Presence is going to be the book. And of course, he espouses that you don't just do that one time in the morning, guys. You know, you touch base, you go in again and again and again, because life is unfolding around you and it's moving, and you need to update yourself. But when you know and you have that vision, you strive confidently towards it, as Thoreau says, then things unexpected happen that you would never have thought of. I was talking to a friend yesterday. We went for a walk, and she was telling me how that she goes to the library, and right now she lives in Ramona. You can get a book and return a book, but they're just books that are out there, you know, that are not, you can't go into the whole library, in other words. And so she says it's just been amazing, the books that have just been there that I just grabbed, not even thinking, okay, well, whatever, I'm just going to get this one. And how they have been so reflective of what I needed right then. So life happens like that with us when we are open to it. So do you know what your life mission is? That's what our topic is today. The mission of your life. Do you know what it is? You know, honestly, I mean, I'm looking at a lot of faces who look like mine, you know, have the little neck wrinkles going here. And we might be saying, yeah, been there, done that. Well, let me tell you, if you have a heartbeat and you are breathing, there is a reason why you are still here. You may have thought that you checked off that list, that, yeah, I've completed my mission in life. No. Because life is ever evolving, ever revealing more of itself. And so there is more for us to do and be and experience in this life. The master teacher said, "Be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind." Be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind. That means to me that we are to renew our minds, to think something new, to experience something new, like the Padres, who are just on a roll. Of doing new things that nobody did before. Yay! Was it 4 or 5 in a row? 4 in a row. Yeah. Yeah, 5. We missed one day in between. I'll tell you. In event. So, but life is ever bringing newness to itself, and we, as expressions of this one power, there is one power, one presence, and it experiences itself, expresses itself as everything that's unique. Nothing is the same. And each of us needs to stand in that power, needs to stand in that presence and that awareness that of who I am right now. I need to discover it, first of all, because it's new today than it was yesterday, number one. And then to let it out. Life is not a destination, it is a journey. Dyer said, when you dance, your purpose is not to get to a certain spot on the floor. Bonnie, Jim, you know that. When you're dancing, do you have this purpose, like, I'm going to get over there? No, your purpose is to enjoy each step along the way. That's what we're doing. We are dancing through this life, enjoying each step along the way. Now again, as I said before, everything in life that happens to us isn't necessarily enjoyable. Things that happen we would rather not have happen. We don't prefer them to happen. And so that's when we go back to our teaching time and time again, that to remember that this too shall pass. And then I had an extra one that was added to me. I got an email from the treasurer of the Anton conference, the people that our ministerial group that we're involved in and affiliated New Thought Network. And Michael put on his email that this too shall pass, and he added, which I love this, and this too shall bless. So not only thinking that, okay, I just got to get through this, I got to get over it, but no, what is the blessing in it? It came for a reason. There's a word in Hinduism and Buddhism called dharma. And the implications of dharma is that there is a right or true way for each person to carry out their life in order to serve both themselves and others. Dharma is closely related to the concepts of duty and selfless service, or seva, and is therefore a fundamental principle of yoga. Although it can be a challenging concept to grasp, since it has no single word English translation, a close adaptation is right way of living. Are you living your dharma? Remember, each of us is that individualized expression of the one that is always evolving, always revealing more of itself. And one of the things that we need to remember is that there is one power, one presence, one source, one principle, one energy that has brought all of this material stuff to our experience. And therefore, if there is only one, everything and every one of us is connected to each other. I like to call it that golden thread of life energy that weaves through all of us. And we recognize it, we know it, we see it in each other. And so that one of the things that I think is very important, if you're sitting here thinking, well, I don't know what my life mission is. I know what I used to do, and I don't know. I would suggest that you look and see what it is that you can give. What can the sirens are going by, and the little doggy in the front row is sitting here. Oh, she's howling. Oh, ooh. Well, she's connecting to that, see? So we are all connected, and we know it. And when we, so if you're stymied, if you're stuck, if you're thinking, I don't know what, go and see, what can I give? And give from your fullness. That's number one. You've got to be full in order to give. Don't give from a sense of depletion, but give from your fullness of what gives you joy. Our Alpine Sun newspaper comes out weekly, and many of us have for years have been used to the highlights, the sundial section. The sundial section tells you everything going on in the town, and what's happening, and it usually is several pages long. Of course, now there's nothing going on too much, and so they've listed all of the volunteer opportunities that are available in the community. And I just wanted to let you know that they include the San Diego Food Bank, the Salvation Army, serving seniors, Porch Light Community Services, Meals on Wheels, and Catholic Charities and Diocese of San Diego. So there's so much opportunity in that broad sense of a lot of nonprofits. But what about the person that lives next door to you? What do they, want to ask them, do you want me to grab you some groceries or something? I mean, there's so much that, and in fact, I can remember one of our congregants, we were talking, it was a volunteer Sunday thing, and he got up and said, when I volunteered, it saved my life. And I won't go into all the details. But as you give, you receive. And you're not doing it for that outcome. You're doing it because you're giving to yourself. Because we're one. And you feel that. When you give, knowing that you have the kingdom within you, that you are living in this kingdom, how could you not share it? How could you not share that joy that is just bubbling over? Life is waiting for you to get with it, to get on the stick, to do your part, to do your dharma, to find what is it for me this day. I'm not going to sit on my laurels. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, back in, 19 whatever, this is what I did. Again, you're here to have a dream, to have an imagination, to do more with this life that God is giving you, that's expecting you to express through it. I mean, God and life is just waiting eagerly, like, oh, what's this one going to do today? So if you want to be happy, if you want to find your happiness and find your mission in life, go within and ask for that guidance, and don't be surprised the way it shows up. It will probably be different than what you might have expected. But if you trust, if you have confidence in this infinite being that you are, man, go with it. Go out and take that step on that dance floor, and just take each and every step as you can to enjoy it to its fullest. And in that way, you will absolutely have peace that is abiding, peace that is eternal, and you'll be helping a lot of other folks along the way in their journey. So be happy. Find your dharma, find your mission, and go for it. Love you. Namaste.